Hey guys, welcome back. I'm excited to show off a new feature of the lab today and do a little bit of training in a game that is definitely not my strength, but one that's growing in popularity, especially in mixed cash games, and that's some 5-card PLO preflop solutions. Added some common spots for 5-card PLO to the lab, and we can see here I've got a 30 big blind with a big blind ante stack depth. I've got two 40 big blind with big blind ante stack depths, and then I've got 100 big blind with no ante, which doesn't run as part of a mix, but will often be part of a cash game. 5-card PLO is an absolutely massive game. We actually play it double board a lot of the times, and yeah, some things might change a little bit between double board and single board in terms of preflop ranges, but it is nice to be able to study something with preflop solver solutions for these common games, and we can try to look at some patterns today. I'm trying to decide which one would be best to do. So the difference here is that with 3x opens in, say, 40 big blind, we'll just take a look and I'll show you really quick. Here we can see, like, if I just start at low jack, he's folding 79%, raising 21 because he has to open to 3x. What we'll see is if you force the solver to play limps and pot, or if you force the solver to 3x, it'll play a little bit tighter. When I switch this to limps and pots, we go from raise 21 to now we're only folding 75.6, mixing in some raises and some calls. Let's keep it simple for now. Let's look at 40 big blind with a 3x open, and we'll just go ahead and go to the trainer, and I can talk you guys through a little bit of my experience with this game. Definitely in cap format, it plays a little bit different than in no-ante, and we can just talk through some hands. Coming from a mixed game background, trying to play 5-card PLO, we'll look at some common RFIs here and see what we learn. So first one here, we have in the hijack. Something that took me a long time to learn for 5-card PLO is that the suitedness is going to make a huge difference in terms of the quality of the hand. So this is just a bad hand. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer bad hand. It's got single suited and it's a low suit, which is basically worthless, and it's got disconnected low cards, so this is an easy fold. And this one, on the other hand, is going to be much stronger. So this is double suited. About half your combinations of any hand are going to be double suited in 5-card. This is kind of the best version of that, where you have the single suited ace, and then you have triple suited side cards, but you have 3 broadways, and the 6-3 is not great, but I think this is clearly enough to open for 3x, and we'll see that, yeah, it's winning 0.13 big blind, so pretty substantial EV gain there. Trips, terrible hand. Oh, hang on a second, we're small blind. This is a sim where it's 1-1 blind, so basically you can check in the small blind or raise, so obviously we're going to check this very garbagey hand. This is common in mixed games to strip one of the blinds and play with two bigs, basically. A 1-1-1 structure is how we play it in cash. All right, here we have a low jack open. We have queens with a dead side card. Good double suited queens, but the deuce dangler, I think this one's going to be kind of close from the low jack. Not my best game. I'm going to go with raise with the ante, but I'm not really sure. Okay, medium mistake. I lost 0.15. So, yeah, I understood the queen 9-8 was like fairly decent here. Let's dive into this one just a little bit, and we can try to learn something here. So, we look at queen 9-8. Let me just get rid of that deuce, and let's see if we can learn any pattern about what side card's really going to matter here. Clearly, the ace is a very good card here, but let's look at some of the closer combos as we scroll down. So it looks like you kind of just need that 5th card to be relevant, because you're even starting to fold queen 9-8 5. So queen 9-8 7 folding. So actually I was just way overvaluing the hand, although these hands are only losing very small to raise. So actually it was pretty bad, my open there. Okay, well, live and learn. Go back here, we look at kind of a junky hand. We are folded to us in the cutoff, and we do have an ace and a king. It is double suited, and what we call like the best double suited, where the side card is not one of the same suits. 5-4-3, ace 5-4-3. Again, I feel like this one's a little bit close, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and err on the side of raising, since that's kind of how I play poker. And this one looks like I got right, and it would have been a pretty big mistake to fold this. So I'm still not necessarily rating these hands properly. This one I can tell you is very bad. However, we're small blind, so we're just going to go ahead and check. Yeah, that one's just a no-brainer. These folded to small blind spots are not super interesting when you have these very bad hands. Okay, cutoff. This hand is an overrated hand. It's got a bad suit with a 7-high suit, and the ace deuce 3 small cards are really not very strong in 5-card PLO. So even though it's folded to us in the cutoff here, I think this one's a fold. Hey, I got one right. All right, so and that would have been a big mistake to raise that one, guys. It would have been 30 BB per 100 mistake. Very weak hand. Small wheel cards just not worth hardly anything here. Folds to us, and we have a very bad single-suited queen, jack, jack, 7-3 on the button. I think I'm just going to fold this one too, but I'm not really that confident in it. Okay, yeah, would have been a big mistake. All right, so let's look maybe a little bit more of a challenging situation here. Let's look at a facing action and see if we get a couple more interesting hands here. As I wait for the trainer to load these massive 5-card PLO training situations. This is a very big solver game. All right, so this time we're big blind facing all sorts of action. This seems like a no-brainer fold. Let's take a look at our overall strategy here. We do see we're going to play pretty tight in the spot facing raise and raise, folding 86%. So obviously that hand was a complete no-brainer. But let's look at maybe this one will be a little bit more interesting here. So this time we have ace, queen, jack, jack, deuce double suited. We do have the triple suit in the nut suit, so it's a slight negative. I think this hand's going to be good enough to call. I don't really think about raising against the low jack open, but let's see. And call is looking good, and we can look at our overall strategy. And notice we're calling a ton here, guys. We're getting a good price. Remember, this is a 1-1-1 blind structure, so we already have like a full big blind invested here. We're calling 49% of the time here pre-flop. That is very, very loose. That said, we're not raising very often and reopening the action. So no-brainer call there. This time we're small blind facing raise and re-raise. We do have a nice double suited hand with ace-king, but it's very dominated by these early position raising ranges. I think this one's going to be a fold. Yeah, it looks like a very clear fold. Any other action would have lost a little bit more. This time, again, a small blind. We already saw we're playing very loose in the small blind. We have double suited with a medium pair. Jack's medium pair. I think call's going to be right. All right, I'm playing all right. Finally, cut off here. Raise, raise, easy fold. Same thing here, facing raise, raise. This is a pretty looking hand, but the 7-3 is quite disconnected. I think this hand's just too dominated to play. And we can see that it was, again, a very, very big mistake to play that hand. All right, small blind facing a button open, double suited, good version, but the 5-4 being disconnected. I know we don't 3-bet too often here. I don't think, with no ace in our hand, I feel like this hand's just going to be a call. I'm wrong. So this one's good enough to raise. Okay, so and actually it's a pretty substantial mistake to call here. So that's pretty interesting. I would have not gotten this one right. See now that it's mostly maybe because we're just up against such a wide button range. Look at how our range changed earlier when we were in the small blind. We saw that we were calling 49. We've shifted a bunch of hands to 3-bets now, facing a button open. And I do believe 5-card PLO is going to be a game in which, like, basically once we 3-bet here, we're never folding. So, like, let's look at if we pot and the big blind folds and then the button repots. Will this work, or will it be an all-in? Yeah, so now, oops, I got that wrong. So we go, we pot, button folds, or big blind folds. Big blind either pots or jams. Let's see. Yeah, so button repots. And notice, look, we're folding 0.3% of our range here. And obviously the hand that we had is a easy continue, and we'll see that it's just putting it in basically. 100% call. So yeah, it's the hand equities do run somewhat close in this game, and we've made our decision. We 3-bet out of the small blind, the big blind folded, the button 4-bet us, but you know they're going to have us beat a decent amount of time here. But equities are going to run close. I guess it's not the end of the world to run to aces in this situation. All right, let's look at a couple more here. Aces. This is a very, very bad version of aces. We've got only a single suited 9. I'm wondering if we ever don't 3-bet this kind of a hand. This is not my area of expertise, so I'm gonna 3-bet it because I've got aces, but I won't be surprised if maybe we do something else here. Maybe we can dive into this a little bit. Okay, so it wasn't so bad. We did 3-bet all aces here. Raising pot was a huge win, so let's just look and just see if I can, learn a little something here about what we just do with all of our aces here. And it looks like basically, yeah, just you'll never go wrong raising pot. Folding bottom 1%, that's probably going to be the trip. So if we go like no 3 aces, yeah, now it's basically never folding. It's just pure jamming. Okay, so it's not very interesting. When someone opens in front of us, hijack opens, we're playing shallow stack cap. If they have a very, very strong hand and we have a weak version of aces, we just don't care. There's some dead money in the pot. We want to fight over it. No big deal. All right, well, let's look at a couple more. This one, these double pair hands are pretty weak facing a raise. It is double suited with a suited ace. I think this is an easy fold. Ooh, I'm wrong. Okay, so this hand with the suited ace is winning small to continue. Yeah, alright. I guess maybe the 3s are slightly positive there. Whereas like something like, would ace 9 6 6 be worse? Like instead of 3 3 we go 6 6? No, not particularly different. Double suited hands with the suited ace are calling, and worse versions are folding. So just a little bit of an okay hand given the shallow cap. I'm sure in 100 big blind no-ante that hand would be an easy fold. Yeah, cut off here. Disconnected queens, double suited, but still an easy fold, I think. Oh, gosh, I'm really underrating these pairs. We're playing poorly here at the end. Queen, queen, 8 5 4. the solver is happy to call this open from late position. We're only calling 14% here, and yet this hand makes it top 17th percentile, so the pure double suited is worth a little bit more than I would have expected here. So definitely a game I need to brush up on, and a very, very complicated game with so many hand combinations. Obviously, there's a lot of info about 5-card PLO cash out there on the internet, on sites that specialize in that, but I have not seen as much for mixed games as what I have here on the lab, so these solves are specifically for the game structures that you often find in cash game mixes, along with a 100 big blind like kind of representative game for more deep stacked no-ante poker. So I find this helpful for kind of brushing up when I'm playing 5-card double board. Obviously, we play some single board as well, and these 5-card PLO games seem like they're very popular these days. So let me know what questions you have. Happy to go over anything in more detail in future videos. I am going to be getting ready to head out to Vegas for the World Series and kind of put a pause on some of the video making, but then I'm going to have plenty of fresh content from all of my tournament action over the summer. But check it out in the lab, stick around, and let me know questions you have in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.